As a book lover, I want my shelves to be a collection of stories that I love, and not just a collection of stories that I might read one day. And so over the last year, I've made an attempt to make sure I'm only keeping books I love. I'm unhauling the books that I don't love, that I'm buying less, and trying to only buy the things that I know I want to read. But one of the places that I'm really failing at that is my subscription boxes. And I would like to figure out which subscription boxes are truly working for me and which ones I can bless and release. I have too many books that I just buy because they're shiny and they're new and maybe I could like them, but I don't really have any plans to actually read them. And so today's video will be episode 1 of me trying to work on these subscription boxes, me trying to read what I have, read my special edition TBR, and hopefully as I read them, I will see what boxes have more that I love and what boxes have more that I've been unhauling. At the end of the year, I can make educated predictions and keep and get rid of some sub boxes based on those statistics. It is also Realmathon week 1, day 1 today, which is a month-long readathon that I run every single year in March. At the time of seeing this video, it's not too late to join. I'll leave the announcement video linked down below. It's competitive and it's team-based, and every single book you read will get you points. You can read any genre for it. Essentially, you read a book and you will either add points to your team or you will get the chance to take away points from another team. It's a lot of fun. This year is city setting. It's for like city families going head to head, trying to rule the city at the end. So I am reading for a different realm every single week. Each realm has its own prompt and like backstory, and this week I'll be reading for Team Stags, which I have 2 lovely co-hosts running this team. We have Tori Between Pages and Raven-Haired Reader, and I'm going to be using a spinner wheel with the 3 main prompts. There are more than 30 prompts that you can read for in Realmathon, but each team has 3 prompts that are more heavy hitting prompts. They get you a little bit more points, and so those are gonna be the 3 on my spinner wheel, and then I'll pick a book from my special edition TBR that fits that prompt. There's a cat in the bookshelf. Okay, here we go. What is it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? That is a non-human character. That's a pretty easy one. Okay, let's go to the bookshelf. Okay, this shelf right here has most of my special editions. Honestly, pretty much all of them that I haven't read. I do have some that I don't own yet that I have purchased, and I will count those as well. And I think for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to move some of this shelf around because I have a few horror special editions and Crescent City and a few others. I think there's about 6 that I have to go find. And I'm just gonna put them up here as well because I think that'll make my life way easier. Okay, there's these 3 as well. These 2 and Crescent City. These 3 right here are just special editions that I've purchased. I already own the entire Crescent City series, so I might avoid that in this video. But like Speak of the Demon, I need to decide whether I want to buy the sequels for. Same with Beneath Black Sails, and then Illumicrate is the horror sub-box. Okay, non-human main character. Maybe I should flip all these around. Non-human main character, non-human main character. I really want to read this book, which I think is Fairy Loot, and I think I've read the most from Fairy Loot. I want to say this has a human character. Okay, I've been counting Witch as a non-human main character, so I could read the Bone Witch. Into Their Woods also is a shifter story. It's a why choose. And so wolf shifters aren't human to me. Speak the Demon has a demon. This is really hard. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. Okay, I think I'll have fun with this one. However, I think my best chance at starting Realmathon with a 5-star is Into Their Woods, which probably doesn't help me know which box I should keep, but also maybe it means I will keep Arcane. This is like the Arcane special edition. Let's read this one. There are 500 people at kickoff sprints right now. This is insane. Incredible. Thank you all so much for just like enjoying this brainchild of mine. I think it's a lot of fun, and so I'm happy that everyone else thinks it's a lot of fun. I'm barely reading though. It's been 20 minutes and I'm 3 pages into my book. I'm just so overwhelmed and so happy, but like I just want to say thank you to everyone for participating, and I hope that if you're seeing this video, you will think about signing up. Thank you so much. Thank you for your interest in claiming me, but I'm gonna have to pass. This line right here is when I knew I would like this MC. The morning sun feels very bright today for some reason. It's the second day. I read a little bit last night, but for the most part, me, Nikki, Christy, Rachel for a bit, and then Lexi joined us, played Phasmophobia, which is like a ghost hunting game, and I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I just want to play again, so I'm probably gonna ask people to play with me tonight again. But I did get to chapter 12, so I'm 130-ish pages in. I think at this point we are just done the setup. this story so far has really just been the setup of her finding out about the wolves and the power, essentially. I don't really know what the synopsis says of this book, but we follow our main character who is a vet tech going to her new job in a small town, and on the road trip she gets hungry and she stops in a town a couple hours out for dinner. After dinner she's hit over her head and then she's left in the forest with a red cape on her and the wolves come and attack her. And so we've really just seen that, and we've seen the initial after effects of what just happened. This is a why choose story, so they are like fated mates kind of with her. And obviously she doesn't know anything about this world, and so she's going into the supernatural world as a human that's just going to be shocked by what she's thrown into. And so we've definitely taken a long time to deal with that aspect, which I am liking, I am enjoying. I like that we're not just like thrown into her being like, oh yeah, wolves, vampires, witches, they're all real, and she's just like okay with it. She's definitely taking time to process the situation because she spent, I think she's almost my age, so I think she spent like 26, 27 years of her life not knowing these things were real. So I do like that aspect, and I actually am really liking the writing style. It's not what I expected for some reason. It is more paranormal. Like, this is a paranormal fantasy. It's not, I feel like sounds bad when I say, but I feel like people will know what I mean when I say this. It leans more paranormal than romantasy in like writing style. Maybe it's just what I've read, but I feel like paranormal often can be a little bit more fun, and I don't want to say cringy because that feels wrong. Like, it's not cringy, but it just has this tone to its narrative style, and this fits that quite a lot. But it also has a blend of that more like whimsical romantasy style, the more descriptive romantasy style. I feel like paranormal, what I've read at least, has been very like to the point, and a lot of the romantasy is a lot more descriptive. Maybe that's all I mean. I don't know how to process it, so hopefully you all understand what I'm saying. And neither is an insult. Like, I'm not meaning anything as an insult. I'm just trying to explain things in the best of my abilities. And I am really enjoying the writing style. I'm enjoying a lot of the metaphors we're having. There is some pop culture moments, so if you don't like that, you probably won't. But also I think it made sense. Like, we had a Twilight joke. She was like, not everyone is Team Jacob, and they're wolf shifters. Like, I liked that. It worked for me. And since she is my age, if she's a human in our world, it makes sense that she watched these things. But they're not like too many. It's just like sprinkled in, and they're really like choosing which pop culture moments they reference, and I'm okay with that. Like, yes, it'll be aged one day, but also I feel like everyone will know Twilight for a very long time, so like I get it. I don't know, sometimes it can really annoy me. Like, sometimes I'm like, don't pop culture anything. Like, I don't want to know that this is the same world that I'm in, but it didn't in this one. The one thing I'm hoping is that I'm hoping it speeds up. I do want to get more into like the relationships and the world building and focus less on her struggle, but I like the fact that they focused on her struggle, so like I'm okay that we spent 130 pages focusing on that, but I would like to get more into it as we go. It's a quick read, it's easy, I'm enjoying it, and this copy is stunning. This is the Arcane edition. I love it so much. Yeah, so that's my update on my book. I also have a coloring update. If you've been watching my channel, I've been coloring quite a bit, and I just grabbed some new things that'll help me try to escalate my coloring a little. I bought new white jelly rolls. I had a different white gel pen that I didn't like, and so I have jelly rolls in other colors, and so I got the jelly rolls. I also got these like metallic jelly rolls. My friend Destiny pointed them out, and I was like, oh, I think those will look really pretty with like the sparkles. So I got a set of these. And then lately I've been seeing a lot of the pages that I really like have more like definition to them. They're done with either like pencil crayons. That's what we call coloring pencils. I think that's what you guys call them in the States, but here in Canada we call them pencil crayons. Or I've also seen people do them with acrylic markers. So I bought myself a set of just like cheap acrylic markers to use. I think that this could add some definition, like some grass strokes and things like that. I might need more of a set if I like it with like more colors, but I figured since I'm not sure how I'll feel about it, I'll just try it this way. I could also try the pencil crayon method, but I think I liked what this looked like more than pencil crayons. I don't really like pencil crayons. I don't enjoy them. I don't know why. Don't ask me. So I'm hoping that I like this a lot more, and I'm hoping it adds and elevates my coloring a little bit. I've been having a lot of fun coloring. It's just like a creative hobby that I like. We're on Sprints on Katie's channel, so I'm gonna go back to those, and hopefully I will finish the book today. I'm hoping to give you a good update, but also no promises because I'm hoping Nikki will play Phasmophobia with me. Hi, I've made it another 100 pages into Their Woods. I think I don't know how I feel about this. I'm debating a DNF. At 30%, I was like, okay, we set up the story. I like that, but I need it to go somewhere. I don't think it's gone anywhere. We're still kind of in the same place we were at 30%, where it's kind of like, will they, won't they? It's kind of like, does she trust them? Does she not trust them? And like, I understand why that's happening, but I feel like we've made no progress. We haven't had like a couple breakthroughs or anything like that. She just feels like, I trust them, I don't trust them, I trust them, I don't trust them. There's never like a point where she feels like she's going 2 steps but only 1 step back. She feels like she's going 2 steps forward to go 3 steps back. She go 2 steps forward to go 3 steps back. And that's just like not working for me. I want to see more of the men. I want to see more of her character relationships with them. When I read Why Choose, I'm really reading it for those moments. I feel like this has too much of an emphasis on the plot and not enough on the character relationships. It's feeling just very set up. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more, which probably means I'm going to read the whole thing. But I'm not loving it anymore. Well, I was never loving it, but I was enjoying it. And I'm definitely like finding myself kind of bored with it currently. Not how I wanted to start my day. Especially because I was like, I'm going to finish this. No, I'm not going to finish this because I'm going to go play Phasmophobia with my friends and do some ghost hunting. My hair is literally soaking. I literally just showered, but I did finish Into Their Woods this morning. I'm giving this book 3 stars. I liked the first 30% and the last probably like 25 to 30% a lot, but the middle stuff just really dragged for me. I don't feel like a lot happened in this book. I feel like she spent a lot of her time scared instead of letting us like glimpse like what might be if she accepted this bond. And I understand that her reaction was so valid and so real. Like that's how I would be reacting. I'd be like, fuck no, get away from me. But in the context of this book, I really needed to see her open up a little bit more. I needed to see moments with the men specifically of like what might have been or what could be, I guess is the better way to say it. And we got that in the last 25%, which I think is why that worked so well for me. There is the like dishwashing scene that I literally loved in this. That was like a peak moment for me that I wish we had more of those. Not even like what it turned out to in the end, but just like that aspect of it I really liked. Or like the one scene of her in the hallway eating the food. Like those were the scenes I really liked, but I feel like I didn't get enough of them. I feel like they didn't dive deep enough into her like breaking her walls down for me. I will give book 2 a try. I did like this. I have to figure out exactly how I'm gonna work this. I think every book will get like a star rating, so it's getting 3 stars, and then at the end of the year I will have like an average, and I don't know if it has to be over 50% or over 60% for me to keep that subscription the next year. I'm not 100% certain, but I need to process that still. I need to like sit down and make a spreadsheet, and then I'll be able to like process it. Maybe I'll do that in this video. But this was a 3 star. I liked it. I will continue, but I didn't love it. But I am starting to realize with Why Choose books, book 1 is such a setup story, and I really have to be willing to give book 2 a chance if there's even one thing I liked. And I did like 2 of the men in this. You can probably guess because I have a type. The leader of the pack, the alpha, loved him. And then the one that bites her, I also loved him. They had like really good banter. I didn't hate the other 2, but they kind of ran together in my brain. It was really hard for me to like separate them. I had to really remember what their jobs were in order to separate them. So whenever that was referenced, I knew who we were talking about. But other than that, sometimes I was like, wait, which one are you? But I am intrigued. I'm intrigued enough to continue, which is good because this is such a stunning edition. So let's do another spin and we'll go up there and let's get another book. Okay. Same prompt, non-human main character again. Okay, I have these 3 that I am actually just going to take and I'm going to check to see if they have a non-human main character. This is called The Prophecy of the Forgotten Fae, so I'm assuming it does. And we also have House of Gilded Nightmares, which is the Dark Fae Guardian book 1, so I'm assuming also Fae. I don't know of Blood and Aether at all, so I just need to go look into them. And I want an audiobook, I think, so I'm gonna look which one I can access on there, and then I'll get back to you about which one I picked. I forgot that last time I didn't tell you what I submitted my pages for. I literally have not submitted that book yet, so I guess we should. As always, all month long, I have little Patreon polls going up to figure out where I'm putting my books. So there's always 4 emojis that are unhinged and no one can ever guess. One is to defend the team I'm on, and the 3 other are to attack. For this one, I said, category is things we are doing. I put the little swearing emoji because that's what we do when we're at a casino. So that one was for the Ravens, to attack the Ravens. I put swimming because at the Goose Estate, we're probably going to be swimming with the geese. So that is to protect the stags. I put the chair because if we're going to listen to some politics at the Monarch thingy, we're going to be sitting a lot. And then I put a box. It's a present, but I put it for the stingers because you get lots of like crates, like you're opening up crates at a deck warehouse thingy. But the Stags did win, so we will be defending the Stags in this one. This book is 441 pages, which gets us positive 40. We'll be increasing for our team. Go to the bottom. Oh, has it a higher rating than the last book I read? This is Goodreads rating, not your personal rating, so I need to go check that. Into Their Woods has a 4.28. And the last book I had was a 3.78. So yes, it is higher rating. No siblings, no title, no multiple people on the cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Even number of letters in the title. I think it was fast paced. I wouldn't say they're morally gray. I would count Why Choose as a favorite trope at this point. Definitely a wealthy character. So those are my 5. So we are at, it'll be on the screen somewhere because I don't want to do math. And then it's a small town, so I'm not going to count it as an urban setting, but it is a non-human protagonist, and there are definitely trees on this cover, so plants on the cover. I think that got me some big boy points. I have started our next book, which is Of Blood and Aether. I'm not super far in, though, so I don't have a lot of thoughts, so I'm going to update you in a little bit. I think I'm going to be coloring and be on Mel Sprints tonight, so I definitely will get some reading done in that time. Honestly, I've hit burnout, and all I want to do is play Phasmophobia, and I'm addicted to playing that game right now, so reading is tough. Reading is very, very tough currently. Burnout hit me at the wrong time. That's for sure. Hello, welcome to the craft corner. Oh, these papers are white. God dang it, I'm not as far in as I thought I was. Not at all. Okay, I'm on chapter 18, so I'm roughly 130 pages in. I am liking this, but I'm not like obsessed. I'm not super invested. I think it's feeling a little insta-lovey. However, when they do interact, I love their interactions together. I just kind of want more of them, even though that's like all we've gotten so far. And I'm also very intrigued by the plot. It is a school setting, which I love. And the fact that I picked this for a non-human main character, they do call some of them humans in this, but I did check with someone to understand if this would count. And so I'm going in with my best foot forward. I'm assuming that this will end up being what I think it is. If it's not, I won't count it for points at the end. It's just like brain empty enjoyment. Not necessarily just here for the vibes, but like just here for like whatever happens. I like the writing style enough. I just don't love it. Like it's like I like everything, I just don't love it. And I don't know if that's me because I'm definitely feeling the burnout or if it's this story, but I'm intrigued and I want to know what's happening. Essentially, we're following our main character who goes to a school setting to learn exactly who and what she is. It's a secret that she can wield all 4 elements in a world where every single other person can only wield one type of element. She can wield all of them. I actually think there's more than 4, but yeah, she can wield every single element, and she's been keeping this a secret. The only person who knows it is the person who found her when she was a baby because she was left. So she's just there to figure out what's happening, and then there's this guard that takes interest in her. There's also the prologue, which is a prophecy that we see about how one person has to find the next person who can wield all the elements, so we definitely know that she's part of the prophecy, and I'm assuming he's the person, the like little kid we see in that first prologue, but not 100% confident about that. I'm still enjoying this. Well, I guess I am enjoying this, I shouldn't say still, but it's not like feeling like 5-star vibey, but like we will see because I'm really early on still actually. Next up, we started coloring, and I tried to go colorful and it's failing. I don't know how to do colorful. That's what I'm learning, but I'm doing a little laundry page. We'll see how it turns out. I'll update you at the end. I did like that there's like all these bubbles up there. That's super cute, but I did a calico cat. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm not loving it. Not loving it at all. It's like not hitting the spot for me. The colors just like aren't there, but we will see. I've made a little bit of progress in this. I think I'm about 50% in, but first I actually want to talk to you about the spreadsheet I created to help me figure out exactly how I'm feeling and which ones I should keep. It's a pretty basic spreadsheet. It just has the title, the rating I gave a book, and then what book box it belongs to. And then my rating is converted to a 10-point system, so 5 stars would be 10 points. 4 stars would be 8 points, those things. And so each book can get a total amount of points. So for example, Arcane, I've had 6 books from, so I can get a total amount of 60 points. Currently, they're sitting at 30 points, which is an average of 50%, which means I would keep that one. If it's less than 50%, I can't keep it. I might, at the end of the year, rethink if I want to include only ones I've read, because I think that that could change the statistics, and right now it's including their entire category that I have gotten. Also, depending at the end of the year, I might give a couple extra points if I've just enjoyed the skip system. Like, for example, Arcane has unlimited skips, and so far I've really enjoyed their skip system. There's no punishment for skipping, versus some of them you can only skip once or twice or 3 times in, and sometimes I would get a book just because I couldn't skip anymore, or because I was saving it for like better skips, if that makes sense, versus like Arcane I can skip whatever I want. So that's kind of just like the basic of the spreadsheet. It's super simple. I definitely have a few I need to be reading. Fairy Loot's score is very scary to me currently, so I need to get that one up a little bit because I actually really like the Fairy Loot box, so I'm hoping that I like some of their picks more. I just need to read them. But back to the book, 60% into Of Blood and Aether, I'm feeling practically the same way, except for that I keep waiting for the plot to come in. I feel like we get little tiny tidbits of the plot, but in order for this to be a better romantasy for me, I feel like the pacing needs to like pick up. I'm tired of just seeing them together. I want to see the overall arc and storyline. Like, I don't know where this book is going at this point. I'm 60% in and I'm like, what is the point of this story? I think it's just for them to meet and then at the end they're gonna realize who each other are, but like that's not enough for me because like we already know that pretty early on. So I'm feeling like it's gonna be a 3-star. I'm liking it enough, but I'm not loving it, which sucks because it's so pretty. But at this point, I'm willing to continue on. I potentially might have to learn how to dock points for that. Like, because there's some 3-stars I give out that I don't want to continue on, and there's some 3-stars that I give out that I do want to continue on. So that's like the basic spreadsheet and statistics and things going on. I just don't have thoughts on this. Like, it just is. It just is what it is. I'm just reading it and digesting it. I think I'll finish this one either today or tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna get to another book, which is kind of sad. Normally when I do like a series like this, I do want to read a lot of books. I aim for about 5 books, but because of Realmathon and Realmathon being weekly vlogs for me, I just like don't have that time, because typically I do at least 10-day vlogs on my channel, so I have a decent amount of time to read a decent amount of things, and my reading is very like fluctuating. Like there's times where I read 5 books all at once in like 1 week, and then there's times where I don't even read a book in a week. So weekly vlogging can be very difficult for me. So Realmathon is probably like the only time I do it. So yeah, I think I might not get to another. I'm hopeful that maybe I can, but it depends how much Phasmo I'm playing tonight, because we are streaming on Twitch and playing Phasmo tonight. We're gonna be ghost hunting girlies. Yeah, that's my only thought so far on this one. I like them, but I don't love them. That's how the book is. It's just mid. It's just like okay, like there's nothing wrong with it, and I like it. I guess it's a little bit more than mid because I do like it, but it's not a new favorite. There are a lot of noises happening in my house, so I'm sorry if you can hear all of them, but I needed to update you that I've decided to DNF this book. Me deciding to DNF a book where I'm this close to the end is honestly quite unheard of, so it's kind of shocking, but I just realized I do not care. I literally don't care. I'm barely paying attention. I'm barely listening. I would just be reading this to read it, and like what is the point of that? I think I felt bad because I'm not sure I'll be able to finish another book in this vlog, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get a short one. But yeah, we are DNFing this. Truly, there's just been no plot that I don't really care where the story goes, and the romance isn't fun enough. Like, I liked the beginning, but it's become like friends to lovers, which is gonna work for some people, but the romance, I don't care enough to like watch it. Like, we obviously know how a romance is gonna end. It always ends in a happily ever after. Maybe not in this book, but eventually. But I haven't been enjoying it enough to be like, let's sit through this so that maybe the next book will be better when the plot starts to kick in. So this will be a DNF, and we need to do another spin. I'm also gonna put this in my unhaul pile, which it's a stunning book, so I'm kind of sad. I don't know why my dishwasher has been so loud lately. Not my dishwasher, my washing machine. You can probably hear it, and I'm so sorry if you can. Sometimes things just don't work out in my house, and I have to make do. Okay, though. I would like something different. Urban setting. Okay, I'm gonna look at size. I think the go-to for this is probably Speak of the Demon, because it is set in our world. It's 350 pages. However, this technically isn't a sub box. It's just a special edition, and I've already decided that I'm not going to be getting the sequels. So, what about House of Gilded Nightmares? This is less than 300 pages. I'm pretty sure this is an urban setting. What about this one? Because everything else I think is going to be too long. I could do a horror book. I could go into like the Eyes of the Best Part, because I believe that this is a city as well. It doesn't really say where this is. This is less than 300 as well. I think I'm going to look at both of those, and whatever one I can have access to the audiobook, I'm going to try. Once once again, I failed the whole vlogging thing, and I forgot to tell you what points I used for Of Blood and Aether. I forgot to submit it, so we are going to submit those points now. I did a very lazy just like emoji poll on Patreon for this one, and I did different animals that represented each team. For the monarchs, I did that they're wise, so I made them an owl. For the stingers, I made them the unicorn because in my brain unicorns fly, and the only way off the island is through boats through like the stingers territory. I did ants for the ravens because I feel like ants would be pro spires. They'd be able to get anywhere and do anything. And then I did a bee for the stags because bees help our environment. They help plants grow. They pollinate, all that thing. The unicorn did win, so we'll be attacking the stingers with this book. I feel like there's a lot going on in this vlog. There's me trying to read my sub boxes and get that down, and then there's the realmathon points. There's just a lot of stats in this. Next episode of subscription boxes will be more chill, I promise, and have more books in it. And the next vlog I do for realmathon is me reading for the ravens, and I'm just reading from a list for that one. I got my patrons to pick me a list, so I didn't even pick it, so there could be some wild reads on that one. Also, yes, I did DNF this book, but I got over halfway through. We are 250 pages into this, so I will get 20 points that go towards the stag, so a positive 20 towards the stag, since page count is always positive. We are decreasing this time. We'll be attacking the stingers. The title does use the word of. It is a special edition. It's a book I own physically. I did listen to the audiobook. I think a character in this has a criminal background. No, I don't. So I'm only using 4 prompts on this one. This is an urban setting. It is a non-human protagonist, but there are no plants on the cover of this one. And sadly, this ended up being the last book I read for this vlog. I did not end up getting to another book, even though you watched me pick one out. I really just couldn't decide. I wasn't in the mood for anything, and so I didn't end up reading. I do think that I got a good amount of points in for my team, even though I read 1.5 books. So I'm still proud of myself. Listen, typically I read 8 to 12 books in a month. So that is a goal of me reading 2 books per team, and then also reading things for each team during the 48-hour readathon. So like, I'm not mad at what I picked today. I'm not mad at what I read, especially in the middle of burnout, but there is that. I wish I could have counted the spines because there's plants on my spine, but I made the rules and I can't do that. So this will be the end of the vlog, but I do have some top secret information for you. As I said, my next vlog will be me reading for the ravens, and my patrons picked a list for me. It's a complete surprise. I have no idea what they picked for me, and I'm terrified, and I'll be reading a bunch of books off that list. If you have no idea what realmathon is, I'm going to leave the announcement video on the screen for you. I'm also going to leave another episode of something else I do called Reader DNF if you enjoy watching people read down their physical TBR, and if you like the idea of the subscription episodes, you will probably like Reader DNF. And for your little top secret information, please give this video an hour. Give this video an hour before you talk about it in Discord. Just let people who want to find out through the video find out, and don't just run to Discord and say like, hey, this is the information we got. We can chat in it, but just use spoiler tags, but just give it a little bit of time for me, please. In last place, going into week 1, the end of week 1, in last place for realmathon, which means nothing. Things can change. Just means that they gotta get their butts a grooving. They gotta get to do the reading. Last place this week was the stags, and anyone in my Patreon readathon who bet on the stags just got a lot of page counts. We are doing a Patreon readathon where we are betting and gambling on the different winners, which is really exciting. If you want to join, that's also linked down below. And with that, I'm gonna leave the 2 videos I talked about on the screen. If you'd like to leave an emoji just to say you were here, leave me your favorite nature emoji since I read for the stags, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.